What's up, peoples? Welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, DHR2 Productions. So, you see the title of this live stream, and I think you know what we're about to talk about. Look, He-Man is one of the most iconic characters in the 80s. Even though I wasn't born in the 80s, I was born in 1981. But I kind of feel like the 80s cartoons left a huge impact in the community as a whole. You have your Ninja Turtles, you have your Transformers, and you have your G.I. Joe, get all your classic 80 cartoons that were massive back in the days of Saturday morning cartoons. And I'll be honest with y'all, I heard of G.I. Joe, I watched the shows, but as far as like He-Man, I wasn't really a fan at first because I never really, well, I heard the character, I just wasn't really watching the show like that. But after watching a few episodes, of He-Man and a far better reboot in 2002 than Kevin Smith's dumpster fire you call Revelation. And I think that's exactly what we're here to talk about. Now, He-Man is the most iconic character, like I said before. There's like so many attempted live action movie that happened in the late 80s that was a massive failure. And some people appreciated it for what it is because Dolph was the perfect role. I mean, the perfect part for that character. But for some odd reason, when the trailer came out for this Netflix series, the hype was real. The hype was very, very real. And there's a reason why a lot of us were expecting an amazing show because of the animations, right? Well, guess what? We were all tricked. We got backstabbed and we got a spit in the face. Spit in the face, excuse me, a slap in the face, and a biggest middle finger and an FU given to us. If you're watching this show on Netflix, what you're about to see is a poor excuse of a director and producing this show that claimed that it's gonna take people back in the 80s. It's gonna be bigger, it's gonna be better, and it's gonna be something totally different. What we ended up getting was a politic woke garbage into this dumpster fire of a show. Literally, nobody wanted this. Nobody asked for this. So I feel like we were embarrassed. I was embarrassed. Even the first episode I was watching this dude got literally killed off in the first episode. So the second episode, Taylor, I'm sorry, but Taylor is the worst character in the show. She was poorly written, and the execution was just bad all the way. No excuse whatsoever if you're going to make a show about He-Man. Be about that. Be honest with your audience. Don't go around, turn around, and just flip the switch. You know what I'm saying? That's what Netflix is doing. Each time when they put out a show, they flip the switch. They really pretty much automatically have you thinking, you know, that the show was going to be about He-Man 100%. And all of a sudden, what we ended up getting was a switch mode. It's not about He-Man, it's about Teela. And let me tell y'all something too. If you see something about a little short haircut with a little fade on the side, that's how you know the show is 100% woke. They did not need to do that. They did not need to do that. You could have left her for what it is or what she was back then. Oh, Jacob, I already seen it. I already know about it. I'm too angry to look at it because you know what? Let me speak on Kevin Smith for a minute. This bum, on the other hand, had the audacity to go on his show and claim that killing off He-Man was a good idea. Like, it made you feel good. I said this before. What was so good about killing the most iconic character of the show? In one episode? One episode, you killed them off. Just so you can make a Taylor focus show. So you blatantly did that for your quote unquote woke audience, right? I wonder how they feel about it. Heck, most of us hate this show. And let me tell you something else. Ever since I made my first video on TikTok, and I pretty much uploaded a video I did on my review on YouTube to TikTok. And just a few days later, it had over 1,000 views, which I can care less about. A lot of people hated this show. I'm not the only one. A lot of people did. But then you have certain ones that defend this garbage, saying how, what are you talking about? This show is good. Nigga, no, it's not. So you're okay with them putting politics and shows into your franchise that you grew up in love, and you think it's okay when it add a little bit of politics, a little bit of wokeness into your garbage show. And for some odd reason, people defended it. I just laugh at them. I just laugh at them. Because I don't know if they're high or stupid or what. This is why we live in society when we have to put every politics in shows, movies, games, comics. It's like we can't even be fresh and original anymore without unwanted politics. That is literally is what pissed me off the most about this show. Teela is the worst character. I'm sorry. You you getting upset over your dad and everybody that kept this so-called secret about Adam becoming He-Man. What? It was like they just didn't care about the original concept from the show. Yet the show from the 80s didn't make sense, but guess what? It was still iconic. But I feel like if you're going to do a reboot on Netflix, you should have kept it close to the source material and not change completely everything for the worse. And apparently, that's exactly what they done. None of this make any sense whatsoever, my G. You know, I was really looking forward to supporting this show, but after watching the trailers, because I had to pay attention to the details, the smaller little details about the trailers of this embarrassing show on Netflix. I quickly, you know what I'm saying? I quickly realized how woke the show. Yeah, yeah, you know what, Jacob? She did knew who E-Man was. So I don't know why they had the audacity to try to make it seem like Adam keeping a secret of becoming He-Man, well, a secret from Teela. And Taylor was just the worst character, like I said. She gets mad at the people for keeping a secret from her, carrying a grudge to her father after her father wants to make amends with her. Oh, man, this show pissed me off so much. She was literally the most annoying character ever since they gave her a massive upgrade, and she still feels so blatantly upset of this secret. Who cares about the stupid secret? The secret doesn't matter. The secret doesn't matter anymore. It was like this show just took a massive dump on He-Man and just turned it into something that is not from the 80s or the 2002 better remake of that show. Kevin, you know what I'm saying? And then Kevin Smith had the audacity to, go on Twitter and social media and go on the interviews, and he blatantly blames the fans for criticizing the show. Why your show bombed? Nigga, that's your fault. You turned a classic 80s cartoon into a joke. So how is it our fault that the show sucked? Heck, I'm getting to a point where I don't even want to support Kevin Smith on any project he does. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Yeah, my bad, y'all. I had a phone call. But like I said, man, this show was a massive failure. I don't care what everybody else says, as no business being made in the first place. And what this dude did, blaming the fans for the show bombing, Once again, my apologies. Had a phone call with RCN, one of the worst companies in the world. But like I said, Kevin Smith goes on interviews blaming the fans for the show's terrible low ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, when it's literally his fault for putting politics in shows, and he blatantly lied to us fans. And I don't know if y'all remember back in 2013, there was an episode of comics, something like that, um, that he did back then, when he pretty much says that he's not a fan of He-Man or the show. If that was the case, why did you decide to make a show about He-Man where it's not even about him? It was about Teela this entire time. And I blatantly got some idiot people saying that there was, said it was called Revelation for a reason. If that was the case, why didn't he tell us that it was about a Teela show instead of just making it Masters of the Universe Revelation? You could have explained to the fans that what this show is richly about. You could have told the fans that this show was going to be about Teela, not He-Man. Instead of just having the show play out, replacing He-Man with the most unwanted politics stuff in that show. 5 episodes in. I just don't understand this show of how you're going to turn this iconic franchise into something that the fans are going to hate forever. I don't understand Hollywood, man. I just don't sometimes. Actually, I do. Hollywood is a woke place, a woke city. If it ain't woke, they're not gonna do it. If it's woke, they'll do it. Whatever happened to doing things original? I mean, holy crap, bro! Like I just don't undo. Yeah, this show makes me want to just call Netflix and tell them to f off, because giving us a show that nobody want, and you got some SJWs that actually praise this garbage, and I'm literally just laughing at their face. Like, you're the how stupid you want if you support politics in shows. Clark Herman, what's up? I know I didn't speak to you earlier, but I wanted to get my true feelings on this piece of garbage show you call He-Man or Teela show. It's not even about He-Man at all, and I cannot stand that. So I just put an invite in the chat so either you or Jacob can come talk to me, you know. So yeah, y'all, your boy's been busy for a week. I've been out of town, um, visiting my grandmother, in North Carolina. She has heart failure, so I had to go see her, and you know, it was really important because family means everything. I love my grandmother to death. I love my family to death. So I wouldn't change that for the world. So that's why we all went down there. I actually had a nice time down there too. So that's why you haven't seen any uploads from me lately. So that's why. But I'm back in DC now, and it's time for me to get back into grinding and working hard. So that's going to be my main focus. I got to finish up doing the Carnage piece as well live. Either it's going to be StreamYard or just use a regular YouTube thing. It don't matter anyway. So I will, but I can't for some reason. You won't let me. Oh, well, does your headphone has like a speakerphone in it? Because the headsets I've got, it has a microphone on it. So if not, you could just, do it without it. That's up to you. And I was gonna do some reactions to movie reviews, so we could get a little educated on how the movies came about. Because I have a few of them that I want to do. Uh, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, and Near Dark. So I think those are like one of my movie reviews, reactions that I want to do. I mean, I really wanted to do it originally, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna like do this for right now to get my frustrations out because of how bad the show was. Not Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, well, that a little bit, but I'm talking about Masters of the Universe Revelation. So, all right, man. I appreciate you stopping by, man. And stay safe out there, man. All right, so let me get off this stream for a minute because I gotta set up my live art video later on. So yeah, love y'all. Take it easy and be safe.